I did bet him a lot, so he might go crazy, you know. So I think if there is a time to slow play, this might be it. So I think I will check again, to be honest. I think if he has kings queens, I think he will jam. If he checks back, I will be really upset. And if he has king queen of hearts, he has to bluff, right? And I block ace king, ace queen, which are the best. A good strategy you can have table 3 is to delay cbet. The board isn't that good, you're gonna have a lot of overcards, so you check. Now when he checks again, you can overbluff. Second exploit, when people just bet small here, they are massively overfolding to raise. Just because when they have the straights, 2 pairs, sets, they either check raise the turn or bet pot, you know, overbet. But here he has like king 7 of hearts, king 7 of diamonds, whatever. He just thinks I have the nuts always. Oh wow. So I'm gonna bet small. If he had a really bad hand, he would have bluffed on the flop on the turn. So now I'm gonna bet 5, he's gonna call 10s, and when he raises, he has a jack, right? So I'm gonna be playing an L5 Russian cash. The goal of the session is to play well, exploit people. Don't hesitate to be unbalanced. And yeah, I think that's it. I think as jack, this seems pretty weak. Yeah, I think I will call. And I will raise this, because think about it, if he has ace 10, 10 9, king queen, jacks, queens, do you think he check calls the flop against a small bet and then donks small, like half or whatever? I don't think that's gonna happen. I think it looks like king 5 suited, queen 10 off, so can put pressure. On the river I just go all in, and what is he gonna do? Really, like, I think he goes like nothing. Also, I will pay attention to people's stats. So as you can see on the right, we can see that table 1, this guy is a huge nit. So queen 10 suit, I will just fold. Because he doesn't open anything, so he's not gonna fold king 6 suited, because he doesn't open king 6 suited. So I'm just gonna 3-bet for value, and when I have aces, I'm gonna make a lot of money. But when bluffing, I don't make any money. So here he most likely has a jack. I don't think I will bet too big. If I was bluffing, I would probably bet bigger. But here you really want to get caught by a jack. So really face upsizing, but you know, it's not gonna fold if you bet smaller. So just bet smaller. And when you have a bluff, just go all in. You know what I mean? Like, be unbalanced and they will never notice it. The thing is that the fish, they might do random stuff. I don't beat any value hands, but it's a small bet. People do crazy thing against with small bets, especially the fish. I think it's okay, you know. That's what I learned from Solo Costa's video. When fish bet small, you just call or raise, and when they bet big, you fold. Seven for a 7. Let's go. King queen, I'm still gonna see bet. Big blind should do a lot of check raising, but I don't think it's gonna happen. This guy should have a lot of pocket pairs. So I'm gonna keep betting and bluff the river. And This is already concerning, and I think the fish, the weaker players, if they have ace king, they're gonna c bet 1/3, but if they have pocket jacks, ace 10, queens, they will bet big. So I just overfold right away on the flop, and I think it's okay, just because, especially at low stakes, at micro stakes, people still c bet 1/3. And it's really easy to just 1/3 c bet ace 7 suited, because why not? You know, it's a 3-bet pot. But when you have pocket jacks, right away you see the flop, and you're like, oh, I should bet big, you know? So I think you should massively overfold against the big c-bet in 3-bet pot. And yeah, I had like a pocket jack somewhere, you know? Yeah, here against a big 4-bet, I think you can fold right away. Same thing, I think it's gonna be strong. I think you don't have any fold equity when they 4-bet 27. Either they have ace king or like queens plus. So I think, yeah, you should just... So I'm gonna do the check bet strategy. It's gonna be overfolded, and if he stops the turn, I just fold, and that's okay. Oh. Should I bluff this runout? It's a weird runout, but I guess I can. So bet check bet is a really good line as a bluff as well. People overfold on the river because they would have played differently with the good hands. You would have led the turn with the top pair. Here you should do a lot of check back, but because they don't check raise enough, same thing. I can keep betting. We check calls twice. He has some 7x, 5x, and I just want to get called by 7x. Again, it's pretty face up. I'm never bluffing like this. Never bluffing. But I want to get called, right? If I go lean, I just get folds, right? He seems to 3-bet a lot of hands. Maybe I should call, but I think 4-bet is good. Don't need to go too big. This guy, he opens so tight, I'm just gonna fold. So here I have a really good hand and I need protection. Yes, 40% is okay. I'm not gonna fold if he raises. And if he has jacks plus, good for him. Should I check? Should I bet? Yes, I'm just gonna bet again and, you know, go all in. If the river is like a queen, a jack, I think I can still jam, to be honest. Because which queen x and jack x will he have? Yeah, I would have jammed the river for value. Yeah, for example, these two guys, they are so tight. Yeah, you can see the stats. That's why you should open this type of hands. Look at this guy, only 25 hands, but you get the idea, right? If on 25 hands he has this kind of stats, then you know it's just too tight. You don't need 5k hands to know that this guy is too tight, especially at NL5. Most players are way too tight. I'm gonna check the ace king. I think if I bet, I'm gonna make him fold worse hands. So I really want him to bluff jack 10 of hearts here, you know? I could check raise, but I think check call is good. he has 20% bet. Okay, isn't it? I guess I have to 4-bet, right? King Jack shouldn't be a 4-bet because he's in position, so he's gonna call a lot, which means I want hands that play well post-flop. I want post-flop playability. But let's say if he was small blind against cutoff, now this is different. He's out of position, so he's gonna do a lot of 5-bet jam or fold, right? And if he 5-bet or fold, King Jack off is a pretty good hand to 4-bet because when he jams, I just fold and that's okay. But yeah, I think he was just way too out of line, so I still think it's okay. You can have some overbets, they will massively overfold. Even on Queen High, King High board. This one is pretty good. Wow, we floated the flop. Should take a note. Because if he floats this kind of hand, I think he's gonna massively overfold on the turn. He's just gonna have so many bad hands. As you can see, I try to take as many labels as possible. Every time I don't have anything else to do. Look at the stats. These guys are way too tight. So here I tagged him as a fish, and his 3-bet sizing isn't that big, but I still think it's a bit too much. Especially from the big blind. People from the big blind are really tight. Because they can just call, you know? They can call this and see a flop. They are not gonna 3-bet really, really wide. Ace Jack suited can be a good 4-bet. Let's do it, why not? Try to not go too much here. Because post-flop you're gonna get destroyed. You don't want to play out of position in 3-bet pots. Jacks against 2.2, I think it's a mix. You can call, you can raise against hijack. Let's raise. Okay, I'm gonna bet small. Check the turn. We don't block ace 10 of diamonds and jack 10. We don't block, yeah, the 10x, but we have an ace, obviously. So now, I think when he checks back, obviously he can have some ace queen as well. But here I think he has a lot of... No. You don't want to bet pot. 10%. I think he has a lot of kings, queens, jacks. And yeah, I think we can get called. The thing is, he says I suck, but he's still calling worse, so yeah, we say thank you. Because if he really thinks I'm never bluffing, then he should just fold. I'm gonna open this one. This guy is a nit. And this guy is a fish. I'm gonna bet. He raises. I think I'm gonna call once. I'm gonna stab the turn. I think we can get called by worse like 5-6, pocket 5s, 4-5, ace 4. We are not gonna make him fold better. I don't think he check raises like pocket 7s and then folds to turn against a small bet. Especially pocket 7s, but let's say pocket 8s. I'm not gonna make him fold better, but he's definitely gonna overfold, I think, when he check raises and then check. So yeah, I get my protection, I get some value as well, and I don't let him bluff the river. Let's say I check back, river is a 5, he bets pot, I have to fold. But here I just don't allow him to see the river and give him the chance to bluff. And the only exploit he could have to exploit me would be to double check raise, which never happens. So I can just, you know, stab like crazy on the turn, I think. Yeah. This guy's a nit, this guy's a fish, tight fish. I can open any two. This time didn't work, but I think on the long run it makes a lot of money. It's that easy. Look at these guys. There's so many of them. Like, so when he checks back the flop, the population will delay c-bet too much. So I will check to let him stab. When he doesn't stab the turn, now I will bet. Not too big, he has pocket 9s, he has ace king, I want to get called. Jacks. We lost some value against jacks, but I think overall they will stab really often. I mean, MDA says population stabs too much on the turn. They delay c-bet too often. I think I can check. I can go for some check raise. Depending on the sizing he uses. And if he checks back, I will put pressure. I think we get a lot of folds. Here I will stab. Obviously he has some 9x, but some 9x will c-bet, you know. If he has ace 9, 7-9 suited, it's pretty easy c-bet. So I get a lot of value from ace 10, king jack. Oops, I didn't mean to c-bet small, but I guess that's fine. Best open size, even from the small blind, is 2 big blind. Just because they overfold massively. I think you can do everything. You can bet small, you can overbet. Main sizing is overbet. And you can check raise. Oh wow. Never slow play, guys, when they bet pot. He most likely has something, and we want to get the value now. King 10 should be a full bet, I think, mostly, but this guy seems too tight. Now, when he bets pot, And calls, obviously he has some flush draws. I have the Queen of Hearts, which is good. I think I can still bet. He can have a lot of Ace Jack with the Jack of Hearts, Ace 2 offsuit, you know. Now if he goes all in, that really sucks, right? Now that's pretty interesting. I think I will bet a sizing where like Ace Jack, Ace 10, Ace 9, I guess not Ace 9, Ace 10, Ace 8 with the hearts will call. And when he goes all in, he has the king, and that's okay. I just fold. They will never turn into a bluff like Ace 10 off, no hearts, and just jam all in. Like, oh, you don't have the king of hearts, I go all in. It doesn't happen. At NL5, it doesn't happen. So you just bet to get caught by worse, and when they go all in, it's okay. You just snap fold, and you move on to the next hand. You could have 4-5 of hearts as well. Got pretty lucky. I mean, he got lucky on the turn, I got lucky on the river. This guy's on it, but his 3-bet sizing is way too small, so we can call everything. Everything that is suited and connected, you can call. And you massively overfold on the flop, and that's okay, because the fact that you saw the flop for a cheap price is amazing. Because next hand, I'm gonna have Queen 10 of hearts here. No, like Queen 7 suited. And I'm gonna win a big pot just because he let me see the flop for a cheap price. So overfolding the flop, it's not overfolding, it's just you have so many hands and it's okay because he just lets you see the flop, which is always good. King Jack, to be honest, I think you can check call because I'm not gonna make him fold an ace on the turn unless I bet massive. So I prefer to do this because when I check the turn, oh wow, he actually calls. That's crazy. I didn't expect to see that. When I check the turn, he might bet really bad hands, like all the draws, the gut shot, everything. But even like Jack 5 of hearts, you know, I check twice, and I have a really good hand to just check call. He's not gonna value bet or bluff ace high, like ace 5 of spades, you know. So when I check call, I have really good hand to check call. Then on the river, I think he has a lot of ace high, so I can bet massive, but I got snap called by a 7. Well played to him. But I think my line is pretty good. Check flop is good. Check call turn is pretty good, I think. And the river bluff, I like it a lot, and I think it works really well at micro stakes, but not against this guy. I think against 1/3 you can call. Maybe not, maybe it's a bad call. Do I want to check raise here? Why not? So having the 3 of diamonds is okay, because one, when you make trips on the turn, I guess a set on the turn, he never makes the flush, right? Because you have the 3 of diamonds. Plus you block some flush draws, like ace 3 of diamonds, king 3 of diamonds, queen 3, jack 3, 3, 4 of diamonds. So I would never check raise without the diamond, but with the diamond I would think it's okay in practice, and in theory I think it might be okay. But I try to check raise more when people c-bet 1/3 because they range bet the flop, which they shouldn't. A good strategy you can have table 3 is to delay c-bet. The board isn't that good. You're gonna have a lot of overcards. So you check. Now when it checks again, you can go crazy and second exploit, when people just bet small here, they are massively overfolding to raise. Just because when they have straights, 2 pairs, sets, they either check raise the turn or bet spot, you know, overbet. But here he has like king 7 of hearts, king 7 of diamonds, whatever. See? He just thinks I have the nuts always. Oh wow. Well, he actually overfolds way more than I expected, but you get the idea. It's an amazing line as a bluff. That's why c-bet is pretty good. But checking back is also good when you know what to do. So when they check, you can overbluff, and when they stab small, you can overbluff as well. But I didn't expect to see a 10 fold. Ace-5 should be a 3-bet, but again, since the population opens too tight and doesn't fold to 3-bets, you should 3-bet more merged, not polarized. Ace-5, I just fold. Look at these stats. That's crazy. 12% PFR, like 4% 3-bet. Ace Queen off should be a 4-bet, but I will fold. No reason to 4-bet against this player. So here it's actually interesting to stab the turn, I think. Not too big, but it's gonna have a lot of ace-x. Oh wow. Now it makes me want to do something like this. It might be a punt. I just think if he has a king, he's probably not raising that small. And if he does have a king, like king queen off, his life is it sucks. So yeah, I think on the turn when people check back, they really like to check back ace high. They think they have showdown value, so they check ace 8 of spades. Whereas it should actually be pretty good bluff candidate. So even on the king, yes, the king isn't that good, but a lot of king queen, king jack will c-bet the flop because they don't have showdown value. So I think they will have so many ace-x on the turn, but not that many king-x. So on the king you can bluff, on the ace on the turn I wouldn't bluff, right? It's not even a bluff on the turn, it's just like value protection kind of bet. I'm gonna bet half. And I fold. Maybe I should lead. Perfect board and hand to overbet, I think. And I will bet small, try to get called by a jack, win. And I lose less against a 9 as well, because you would probably bet like a bit bigger and I would have a call. Jack 10 should be a fold, I think, but these two players seems to be fishy, so... This guy, you should 3-bet some ace x suited, but I will pass. Queen 6 I will call. And just overfold the flop. And it's okay. These two players are a bit too tight as well. So here, blind versus blind, I think you don't need to bet that big. Because he's gonna have to check a lot of hands, close to range. And it just has so many hands that will snap fold whatever the sizing I use. If he has ace 10 off, he has to fold whatever sizing I use. So I think you bet small and you polarize on the turn. Against two big blind, you can actually call queens here. I will 3-bet a bit more. I will start with a check. Should I bet or should I check? I'm gonna bet small. If he had a really bad hand, he would bluff. He would have bluffed on the flop on the turn. So now I'm gonna bet 5. He's gonna call 10s. And when he raises, he has a jack, right? I don't think he checks back twice. 8, 9 of hearts and then raises against a small bet, right? Jack 5 deuce. Here you should bet 66 or check. And bet small. So yeah, in theory you should bet big or check. In practice, a good exploit is to bet big as a bluff and smaller for value. Here with Jack 10, I think betting small into check makes a lot of sense. Let's try to make him bluff something. When he checks back, I will bet not too big. Again, it's very face up, but it works. Let him call like pocket nines, ace king, ace queen. Nice. But if I bet big the flop, he might even fold right away on the flop, right? Yeah, here I think my hand is good enough to check raise the turn. I think you should bet in theory, but in practice I think check raise is good. And I'm gonna check again the king. Because if he has like ace 8, ace 9, he's not gonna call anyway, but I give him the chance to bluff, right? If he has like pocket 10s, ace 7, hands that would call my bet, it's very likely that he just bet the flop or bet the turn, right? I think it's better to let him bluff or let him value bet the king and then I raise. Here, good spot to overbet and good hand to overbet. Okay, here I will bet. He opens a lot of hands. As you can see, the ATS 65. Now if 4-bet, I will just fold, that's okay. King 6 against 2.2. I think it's pretty close. Against 2x, you can call King 4 offsuits. So 2.2, I think it's like King 6 or King 7. Here it's a nice spot to check raise as a bluff. I think when you have an ace, it's better to check. Here, when they check back on the SI boards, it's usually strong. because when they have an ace, let's say they have ace deuce of hearts, they check, but let's say they have jack 10 off, they will bet. So it's actually, usually when people check back, it's capped, but I think here it's not as capped as we think. Let's try something like this. Hopefully it doesn't have a 5. So yeah, if it was like queen 8-4 and he checks back, I will bluff. But ace 8-4, I think he has a lot of ace-x, kings, queens, jacks that check back the flop. But when he has jack 10 off, he will bet. That's why it's such a good board to check raise when they bet small. But when they actually check back, now it's concerning, I think. King Jack 7, I don't think you need to do any fancy plays. I'm gonna bet small and bet turn and jam river. I think it's the best play. I think I will check again and bet the river. I think not too big. I don't have anything. I have to bluff, I think. Yeah, let's play as ace king. Queen 7 is a call against 2 big blind. When he checks back twice, we most likely have the best hand. I mean, we always have the best hand. I guess we lose against like queen 10, queen jack. I bet small and try to get called by like 10-9, pocket tens. If I was bluffing again, I would bet bigger. Now, when he does this, he's not bluffing. It looks like pocket sixes and queen 6 and 9-6 and whatever, and I just fold. Because think about it, if he had a weak hand, which hands does he check back twice and then start bluffing? Like, it's a really, really complex play. Like, he should check back, I don't know. I don't even know, like, some, you know, ace 10, ace jack, maybe. Checks back twice and then bluffs. Maybe some 3x. I just don't think that's gonna happen. They just don't bluff. So here, table 1, we have a good hand to either check raise or bet big. I will bet big. I think I can make him fold pocket 8s, pocket 9s right away on the flop. I think the ace of hearts is good. Blocking king jack suited isn't that bad. Now when he calls, do we think we can get him to fold a lot of hands? I think they massively overfold flop, so I think I just give up, and I think it's okay. Because I think on the flop he's supposed to call like king queen of clubs. He's supposed to call ace 10 of clubs, you know, like pocket 8s, pocket 10s, stuff like that. I don't think that's gonna happen. Yeah, I just think it's strong. Yeah, it looks like ace jack, pocket queens. I fold. Damn it. And also check raise is good. When on the flop, he bets small, pot is 25, he bets like 8, you check raise 25. And he has pocket 8s, king queen, and he's in a really tough spot. I like the check raise as well. Tens, I think, yeah, you should raise against the cutoff, but again, this guy is really tight. I bet the tens for value protection. That's why you don't see me like snap fold my shitty hands in the small blind, because big blind is really tight. So I wait until it folds to me. And steal the blinds more often. Like this guy, he actually does 3-bet this time, but look at the 5% over 1.4k hands. He's not bluffing here. He's just not bluffing. Here I think I can call. It's a really low sample, so I don't know how he plays, but it's a small sizing, so I can call more. We are a bit deeper, which is good news for ace-x suited, I think. Yeah, I'm gonna check raise. When they see bet small, they will massively overfold. And we have good backdoors. And I guess I check back, ace-8. I'm gonna pot the queen. I have a great bluff when the river is a brick, but I don't know if I'm gonna bluff. So here, when he checks twice, I think we have the best 10. I think he has a lot of kings, king, queen, queen, jack. Now, when there is the diamond, I think we give up. I think we give up. And I'm gonna try to get some thin value against kings. Yeah, jacks. If he raises, I just fold. Again, we get some thin value and then we fold when they raise, because people don't bluff. People don't bluff. And if he has ace 9, ace 10, the good news is that we split, right? Yeah, we do split. It's a bit... oh, wow. I guess one of them has a flush draw, but the other one probably has a queen. So I'm gonna give up. Here I think it's pretty close. I don't know, maybe I should call. And I get punished. The only time it's not a GTO play, I get punished. I'm trying to be really tight. I have like pretty tight bets, 8%, because they open so tight. There's no reason to bet really wide. I'm trying to find some hands where I can 3-bet light. Yeah, I get punished. Oh wow, we can have a really big pots here. Really big pot. This guy is a whale. I don't see any reason to 4-bet. I have to call. And I have to fold. I'm gonna try to get some reads, you know, like to try. If he has like 7 deuce of hearts, it would be nice to know. So here I overbet because it's a good spot to overbet, but then the 4 is not that good. So I'm gonna give up. And I think it's okay because he massively overfold the flop, so I think I just fold and it's okay. And I guess I fold here as well. Okay, let's take it. This time we won't get overbet. So here we don't have to 4-bet too big because it's blind versus blind, so it should be polarized. So if we 4-bet 20 and he has king 8 offsuits, he snap folds, right? So we get a better price, a better risk to reward ratio when we have ace jack off, you know, and if 5-bet jams, we fold and we lose less money. I really want to 3-bet some stuff, but look at these guys. 10% PFR. When he checks back twice, I think he has a queen, jacks. It's a great spot to bet big. Ace king is pretty good, especially with the diamond. He should check raise here. He should check raise 10-9 of spades 100% of the time. Jack 10 of spades 100%. Pocket eights. Pocket eights, he should just check raise the flop. It's not gonna happen. Now, do we want to keep barreling? That's the thing. We didn't get any good turns to keep bluffing. Tends to be honest, I think you can fold. I guess we can call this time, but so snap check back. I think it looks like pocket queens jacks. I'm gonna bet like 2 big blind just to not get raised and not pay too much. Oh, it's so bad. Maybe we could raise, yeah, I don't know. King 8, I think you can keep barreling. He has a lot of face high, a lot of pocket pairs. Yes, sometimes he has a 10, but most of the time it doesn't. So overcard doesn't mean you should check back. We most likely, like 80% of the time, we have the best hand, and now that's concerning. I'm not scared of the 10, to be honest. I'm scared of the 5. Check call into check raise, it's probably too strong. So I make a tight fold. Always the same thing. If he really wants to bluff the spot, why doesn't he check raise the flop? Right? If he has 6, 7, 7, 9. Why doesn't he just check raise the flop? Right? Why does he check raise the turn when he has nothing? I guess I can call to both of them. This guy's a fish. I fold. Here, should we raise? I don't think we should raise. Plan is simple, we call twice, and when he checks the river, we can bluff. Oh wow. So we don't have the pot odds. I guess we have implied odds. Yes, I'm gonna call, because the thing is, when it checks back when it checks the river, I jam and they always fold. That's the plan. Now he's gonna jam and I'm gonna lose 2 aces and I'm gonna get punished. But I think it's okay, because he could also have like Jack 10 of spades. I'm gonna jump quick because I think it's gonna call too many 10s plus, and I jump quick. Quick jump is sometimes he could think, oh, he's turning something into a bluff. Yeah. I got lucky. Maybe it's not the best play. It depends on his pre-flop range. Does he actually have some bluffs? Because if he always has 10s plus, obviously it's not that good. But yeah, what I meant is that... Oops, I didn't mean to do that. When he c-bets the flop, he's very likely to bet the turn again. But when he bets the turn, it doesn't mean he's gonna jam the river. When he checks the river, he's gonna check fold like massively over check fold. So it's like you kind of need to be ready to, if you call the flop, you're gonna call the turn because you will have a really easy decision on the river. If he jams, he has a good hand. If he doesn't, he will always check fold and you win. Here he decided to check because there's the flush met. Let's say deuce of hearts and he checks, it doesn't have any 10s plus anymore, right? So yeah, kind of got lucky, but I still think, I still think it's a good play. Let's try to find like one more interesting hand, I guess. And then I think we are good. Let me know, guys, if you want some longer sessions. I could maybe do like 5 hours session, I don't know. I feel like some people would not watch this kind of content. But I know some people like to, win for, I think it's a fold against 4x open, 3x open, and being 3-way. This guy, he opens fairly wide, so I'm gonna bet a bit wider as well. It's not that wide, to be honest. I think it might be even close to GTO. Maybe queen 9 or king 9. I'm not gonna call because this guy's gonna call behind, and then flop it's gonna go check, bet, call, jam, and I'm gonna have to fold. You know what I mean? Especially on this flop, like exactly on this flop. Check, bet, call, jam, which sucks. I'm gonna bet small to get called by worse. Sometimes he has ace jack, ace queen, but he also has like ace 9, ace 7, ace 6, whatever. And you should take a note that is a huge nit. Maybe he has like ace jack suited, ace queen. Ace queen would make a lot of sense. Ace queen offsuit would be really nice. Yeah, ace queen here makes a lot of sense, and here, like, I don't know, king jack suited. King's ace 8. Nice read by me. I should have more queen x than him. Do I want to lead with ace 10? I don't know. Now we get spot. That's so weird. I just fold. He could have ace queen, aces, pocket sixes. Now, okay. And now you take a note that he's doing some kind of ice skating, betting small the flop, small the turn, and overbet the river. I don't think it's gonna happen that often, to be honest. So I'm fine with overfolding until I get the info he does this kind of play, which is, I like it a lot. But nobody does that. Well played to him. Now if we get check raise, that would be really sad. So weird. Maybe I should just fold the turn. Okay. Okay, one more hand, please. I guess I'm gonna call because this guy is a whale and this guy is not that good. Nope, we missed the flop. Good spot to overbet here. We have good backdoors. Guess I'm gonna check again, and to be honest, I could just bet big, you know, if they check. I really don't want to do something. It's really bad, but when you think about it, this guy, he doesn't have any good hands. I'm a bit scared of this guy. I'm gonna do it for the video. But I think if you have like 8-9, ace-10, it's an amazing bluff. Just because when you think about it, what does he have? He doesn't have a straight. He doesn't have queen-jack. He doesn't have anything. Obviously, my hand is just garbage. I shouldn't do that, but... So we talked about it when they check back on SI boards. It's a bit suspicious, concerning, whatever you want. So now, though, I think when they check back twice, I will do something like this. So this guy has 2%. He bets big. Maybe I should check raise, but I think if I do check raise and bet the turn, jam the river, it's a bit too thin. So one good line I like to use, I guess I'm gonna raise. Guess I'm gonna raise. Yeah, you can probably raise. I have good backdoors. When he bets half, I don't think he has king, queen, queens anymore. So if he has king, jack, ace 10, whatever, I like the raise. Now I don't know. It's an amazing turn for me, but I don't have any blockers and backdoors. I would have bluffed other cards, but I feel like it's just... I have no idea. Alright guys, one more hand. One more hand. I think we played well today. Queen 8 against 2x open from the curve. I think it's a bit too optimistic. But Queen 9 offsuit, I think it's a call. Yeah, I will call against the fish. I guess I will do the same. I will check, and if they bet small, to be honest, I like to check raise here. And I like the overbet. Like the overbet. Obviously, when he has pocket 10s, queen 10, him, I lose, but most of the time they don't. They will have so many pocket 5s, ace 10, 6, 7, and they will just snap fold. Alright guys, next interesting hand, I leave. Oh wow, I guess we call. Yeah, I guess we call against a fish. Oh, aces. Pocket aces. So the 4-bet is small, which means we can call more. I guess aces. This guy, I think I did 3-bet him a lot, so he might go crazy, you know. So I think if there is a time to slow play, this might be. Let's pause. Now, do we want to check raise? So I think I will check again, to be honest. I think if he has kings, queens, I think he will jam. If he checks back, I will be really upset. And if he has king, queen of hearts, he has to bluff, right? And I block ace, king, ace, queen, which are the best. Let's go, guys. Let's go. I'm the best. I'm the best. The check on the river, guys. Okay, this time I leave. This time I leave. Oh my god, I'm so good. Yeah, if I jam the river, I'm gonna get called by kings, queens, obviously. But he should jam them for value. Anyway, if I check. So I give him the opportunity to bluff this kind of hands. Alright guys, bye. Good luck at the tables. See you soon.